What up, YouTube? It's your boy, Young Black. I know I've been missing for a while, but I've been working hard, and I ain't really been doing a lot of YouTube videos. I kind of forgot about YouTube, but not really, though. You know, I just been doing a lot, and I haven't been able to really play around on the internet like I would normally want to. You know, a little bit more responsibility, helping my wife out a little more, and my kids. But anyway, besides that, I'm going to talk about a game that recently came out. And I know this is my first video in a while. I'm going to try and make more videos more often if possible. So, we'll see what happens. Alright, and there's some other games that came out that I want to talk about too, because I haven't been on in a while. So, as I get them, because I also got to buy a bunch of more games, because I got rid of a lot of them because I wasn't really playing them, and they was just sitting around, and they were just taking up too much space in my house. So I got rid of a lot of stuff. But I'm going to rebuild my collection because I recently did move and got more space. But anyway, Resident Evil 6. I'm hearing a lot of talk about this. People are saying that it sucks. GameSpot gave it a 4.5, I believe. Yeah, 4.5. And it really made me not even want to buy the game for a while. I was just like, I don't know if I want to get it, because that's just really a low score. And some of the stuff they said about it was really bad. And I'm a big Resident Evil fan. I like the original Resident Evils better than the newer ones, but hey, they changed the series. It's a horror action horror game now. It's not a survival horror anymore like it was back in the day. And I hear a lot of people complaining about that. It's not that big of a deal to me. It still has its scary moments. It's not as much tension in the horror as it was in the earlier games. These are more like I would say like when you're watching the movie Predator or something like that, you know, and where it's monsters, but there's gunplay happening and aircrafts blowing up. It's less atmospheric horror than it's like Silent Hill is more atmospheric horror. This is more like an action game with horror elements to it. But it's still Resident Evil in a lot of ways. The characters are still there. The drama-ridden story is still there with all the drama between the characters. The voice acting is pretty good. I mean, Leon and Chris, I think their voices could use an overhaul. It's about time for that, I think. Or at least make them sound correct. They still sound like they're on PlayStation 1 to me. I don't know why. It just does that. The voices could be a lot better. You know what I mean? I don't know. To me, I felt like that. But besides that, all the stuff I seen on GameSpot was basically a lie to me. Alright, because the game is not a 4.5. This is at least an 8.5 game if you ask me. I haven't been playing a lot of games, and since I stopped playing games have actually changed a little bit, which I was like, wow, evolution in gaming is actually happening a lot faster now than when I was younger. I'm getting older now, so I'm like, wow. I stopped playing for maybe almost 6 months or 4 months, and I'm playing Resident Evil 6, and it's a lot different than any other type of game. I mean, just the way they approach the story alone, where there's 4 different campaigns, and all of the campaigns intersect with each other, and it's telling one big story, but you have to play all the campaigns to get it. I mean, that alone is amazing. I beat Leon's campaign. I'm playing Chris's right now. And I love the way the campaigns are very long. I mean, they're like 20 hours for each one, and there's like 4 of them. So I'm like, wow, that is a lot of gameplay in a Resident Evil. You know, for $60, normally you get a Resident Evil, you get one character, and you just play his story, or if he has a partner, there's 2 of them, and you play their stories. So recently it's been 2 characters. But yeah, you play their story, and then that's it, or you have to play it again. This game, it's like 4 Resident Evil games in one game, because you play one story where there's 2 characters, and then you play another story where there's 2 characters, and then another story where there's 2 characters, and then another story where there's 1. Right? So I'm like, wow, that is a lot of gameplay, and they're all very long. They're not like an hour-and-a-half story. It's not like an hour-and-a-half just worth of gameplay. These are long drawn-out campaigns. Like, when they say campaign, they really mean it. It's really a campaign. and I really like that. The weapons in the game work very well. I wish you could customize your aim a little more, like set the sensitivity. Maybe you can, but I don't know how to do it. I haven't figured that out, but I don't think so. I tried it, and I looked around, and there's no way for me to set the sensitivity of the analog sticks. I wish there was, but they don't have that. They used a couple of different gaming elements in this Resident Evil 2, like they put a cover system in, which is kind of flawed too, because it's really hard, and it's really hard to use. It just feels uncomfortable and clunky. So I try not to use it too much. I try to use it just to get out of the way of projectiles. I don't want to spoil the game for anybody, but just to take cover, to get out of the way of projectiles and things like that. So I wish they would have put more time and effort into the cover system. But besides that, everything else works fine. I love how each campaign, the characters, their menus look different. Like when you play with Chris, his menu, like when you select your items and everything, has like a green overtone, more military looking, high-tech military, and it separates the gameplay a lot. It just feels different. The characters' moves that they do, the melees, feel different. That's another thing now. You can melee anytime you want. There's actually a melee button, which is the shoot button when you're not holding L1. I thought that was really innovative for Resident Evil. Another complaint though, I wish the camera was zoomed out a little bit, because when you're in close quarters inside like interiors in the game, I feel like the camera is too close to their back, so you can't really see too much around them. So like you only can see what's like right in front of them. Left and right is like totally blind spots because the camera is so zoomed in. I wish you could zoom the camera out too. If they give you more control of that, that'd be freaking awesome. The graphics are amazing, and the story is amazing. All right, I love the way they put the big set pieces into the game. Like, people are complaining, saying that they're quick time events. Yeah, okay, they might be quick time events, but they happen within the game fluidly. See, that's where they don't understand. It's more like in the vein of games like Metal Gear Solid 4 to me. Not story-wise, not too much gameplay-wise, but the way they set the story up graphically. You know what I mean? Where they're telling the story through the game's graphic engine, most of it. They do have some FMV movie sequences on there, like a couple of them. There's a lot of them, actually. There's a couple of them in there, and they look really good. But they tell most of the game's story through in-game graphics, right? Even the set pieces are done in in-game graphics. They'll go from a dramatic set piece where Leon's falling off something, and you gotta press a button, and a quick time event, and then do another, and he'll fall off of that, and then you gotta slide down the thing and press another button in the quick time event, and then it'll go right back into gameplay. All right, that's effortless, and I was like, wow, and it didn't take you out of it too much. If the controls were a little bit more solid, I would have gave this game a 9.0, but to me it's like an 8.5 because the controls are a little wonky. You got to get used to them, but besides that, the game is ultra realistic. Everything in Resident Evil that they put in from Resident Evil 4 till this one is like multiplied times 100. You can shoot the zombies in their limbs, and different things will happen. You shoot them in the foot, they'll fall. Zombies will start running at you and charge, and you can shoot the one in the front, and the ones behind it will trip over him, causing like a stockpile of zombies, and then you can throw a grenade and blow them all up. Like, it has really good elements into it that are very situational. Like, it does different things. Like, I love the monsters in this one, and how there's so many different type of ways that they're using bioterrorism as a story arc, and what bioterrorism actually is in this game. You just understand it more. It feels like a terrorist story, but instead of it being guys with Arabic bandanas on, or any other type of terrorist that you could think of, or a Russian nationalist or something, it feels more like I don't know, like a monster sci-fi terrorist game. The terrorists are actually using weapons that take away their humanity, but they're so about their cause that they're willing to inject themselves with a bio-terrorist weapon to make themselves into monsters, to give them a huge advantage over everybody else. It's really dramatic, but it really works well for Resident Evil, because Resident Evil is a very dramatic game anyway. Go buy this game, man. I'm telling you, I don't think you'll be disappointed. Maybe if you're a super duper Resident Evil fan and you missed the old Resident Evils, and you gripe through Resident Evil 4 and you gripe through Resident Evil 5, maybe this ain't for you. But if you like Resident Evil 4 and you liked Resident Evil 5, this is both of those games times 100. Alright, and I love it. dearly. Plus it has mercenaries mode, and they have this other mode called Agent Hunt that you guys probably heard about already, but if this is your first time hearing it, Agent Hunt actually lets you invade other people's games and you play zombies. Right? So you get to be a zombie or a monster or something, and it's during story mode, when people are playing online, you can invade their game and become a monster in their game. Right? So I thought that was pretty original. Plus, on top of that, game has 2-player co-op with no online, so you can split screen and play together. First time ever, which is awesome in Resident Evil, that you can actually experience a full Resident Evil story with 2 people at the same time in your house, split screen. That's going to be really, really, I think that is really, really epic for Resident Evil, that they can actually make the game look this good and still split screen. Well, I haven't actually tried it yet. I'll actually talk about it a little more in later videos after I actually try it, but just the fact that they have that there alone to me is epic. And then it has online mode where you can play through the campaign with people on your friends list or just people online, and it actually is 4 players. And you actually can be I can actually be playing Leon's story arc, and the other people can be playing maybe Jake's or Chris's, and we'll cross each other in the story. So the parts of the story where the campaigns intersect and the characters all meet up and start to see each other and meet each other through the story, you'll actually get to do that online with other people playing, which is that's pretty amazing. I was like, wow, that's pretty freaking cool. I don't know why a lot of people are not liking this game. I think, like I said in my earlier videos, if you guys have watched my earlier videos, it's even more relevant now when games like this come out and they get horrible reviews, that the reviewers are really becoming really, really jaded, and I think that a lot of reviewers are looking at a lot of the new games that are out now and are being oversaturated with the flashiness of them. I mean, back in the day, a game like this would have been like a dream game. If back in the first PlayStation era and N64 and all of those days, if a game like this came out, we would all have been drooling, and it works well enough too. I'm like, wow, they really are jaded gamers out there. Even the reviewers who are getting paid to give their reviews to us are very, very jaded. Game is awesome though. I suggest you guys go pick it up. This is your boy Young Black. I'm signing off. I'll be back with another review of something cool soon, hopefully, if I get some time. I'm actually in the middle of watching Everybody Loves Raymond right now and chilling out, relaxing, having a drink. Kids at school and I can relax. House is clean. But this is your boy Young Black 238. Real Gamers Stand Up, and I'll see you guys soon.